Hello everyone, there might be a heat wave going on in the UK right now, thunderstorms aloft, but that doesn't stop JSGC delivering the daily Manchester City transfer news. So make sure you stay tuned for that. We'll talk about all the ins and outs with Manchester City and a little bit of contract news too. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Make sure, like always, you press the red button, subscribe, press the bell and put your push notifications on if you're interested in daily Manchester City transfer updates. Really helps my channel out, that does. Make sure you leave a thumbs up if you do enjoy this video, so I know that you do enjoy the video. Leave your thoughts in the comments below and make sure you go and check out my social media links if you so wish, which links you can find in the description below and popping up on screen for my Twitter and Instagram. If you want to stay up to date with everything happening with Manchester City, transfer news and JSGC, then stay tuned and go and follow me on my socials. So we're going to crack on with the ins and we're going to be talking about Thiago Almada first. We've got an update on him, the new Messi is what he's been called over the last couple of weeks. I mean, I don't really like the term, but there we go. Now, I've had two completely different end of the spectrum reporting coming in from Portugal. Very strange. So the first one we've got, the positive one, comes from Ebola, saying that a deal is close and that the deal is going to be sealed this week, and then he's going to be loaned out to Sporting Lisbon, and a fee has now been agreed. And that, my understanding is, a fee's close to being agreed and sitting here in discussion with Thiago Almada, but there's complications over a new contract. Now, this is where Ojogo come in from Portugal, and they've said that City's made a bid. They've rejected it to Velez Sarsfield, who Thiago Almada plays for. They've rejected that deal and that the deal is drifting away. And so we couldn't be further away from two contradicting reports, and I hate transfers at times, if I'm completely honest. I mean, what sense am I meant to make out of that? Where do we go from there? I'm just going to listen to what the majority of the sources are saying, and the sources are saying City in contact with Velez Sarsfield. They're trying to get Thiago Almada on a new contract, so his release clause will go up and Man City have to pay more money. City willing to pay £16 million. If the fee starts going up from there, I imagine City will start walking away. But that's where we are at this moment in time. Frustrating times with contradicting reports. I hate contradicting reports, but there we go. Now we're going to move on to a very peculiar and interesting story. This one comes in the form of Juventus attacker Paulo Dybala. Now, Juventus need to raise some funds. Made some big signings over the last couple of seasons. Cristiano Ronaldo cost quite a lot of money. Cost a lot of money in wage too. Signing Matthias de Ligt, who City won't be signing, of course. He's signed for Juventus too. They're needing to raise a few funds. We know that. Cancelo available for transfer. Should City sort out the Danilo situation, if they decide to sell him, then we're going to have to bring in a new player, a new right back, and Cancelo will more than likely be that guy. So he's available for transfer, and apparently Juventus have made Paulo Dybala available for transfer too, and he's been offered to Manchester City. City have been linked in the past with Paulo Dybala, and so maybe City might go in, maybe not. News coming in though, apparently Manchester City just aren't interested in signing an attacker, and therefore aren't interested at this moment in time in signing Paulo Dybala. So yeah, found that very interesting. Question for you to leave in the comments below. Would you like City to sign Paulo Dybala? And if so, where would you think he'd slot in and who do you think he'd replace? Do let me know that in the comments below. We're going to move on to the outs now. Little update on Tosin Adarabioyo. Gave an update on him yesterday saying that he was close to signing for Blackburn. That is completely imminent, I'll be honest. I was expecting that to be announced yesterday. As far as I'm aware, it weren't announced yesterday. Blackburn did announce some signings. I didn't see Tosin Adarabioyo announced on there. Waiting for that just to be confirmed. I suspect that will probably come today. MEM were reporting that that was coming imminently. That was yesterday afternoon, as though they was making out that it was going to be within hours rather than days, but goes into the next day. So that may well be today, possibly. Make sure you stay tuned for my Twitter for that, or just stay tuned and tune in tomorrow for the next daily transfer update, where I should imagine Adarabioyo will become a Blackburn player on a year-long loan. Now, got an update on Otamendi. Just as I thought that the book had sealed, he was staying at Manchester City, Valencia and Atletico Madrid weren't interested in signing him, we get another update. Found this very strange. Now, some source over in Italy have been saying that AC Milan are now interested in signing Nicolas Otamendi, but they want him on a lower figure. So they're basically wanting to reduce his wage, and they're also wanting to pay Manchester City less than what we was hoping for. Like I said, City I think are looking at around £20–25 million, somewhere around that mark for Nicolas Otamendi. Italians for you, very hard to negotiate with. They'll want Manchester City to become desperate to sell, and then they'll step in with something ridiculous like £10 million and try and sign him for like a couple of million in add-ons on there, like a 12 million deal. Think of Edin Dzeko. Think of how cheap he went for how good he was. And basically trying to do the same with Nicolas Otamendi here in Italy, obviously with AC Milan. Apparently AC Milan lining up Nicolas Otamendi as an alternative to Dejan Lovren of Liverpool, who they had identified as a centre-back that they did want to sign. So it's thought Nicolas Otamendi might be the man for that instead. So we'll have to keep an eye on that one. Just when I thought that was dead, it isn't so dead. Now we've got an update on Leroy Sane. I should imagine quite a few people are getting sick of the Leroy Sane situation. Me too, put me in that queue please, but got an update on him. This is interesting. Now, Leroy Sane, according to Bild, over in Germany, Bayern Munich have got a proposal already sorted, and they want to put it across to Leroy Sane and his representatives, but that'll only be put across to him once he's back from his pre-season tour over in Asia. So that's not going to be coming for at least another, is it another week we're out there or something like that? So basically they're wanting to put the proposal to him. I don't like where this is going, because I feel like they're just trying to twist Leroy Sane's head, and I just don't like basically where this is all going. But biggest obstacle Bayern Munich's got here, they seem to think that it's convincing Leroy Sane to join Bayern Munich, which is a big obstacle, I'll give them that. But it's not the biggest obstacle, because whilst Leroy Sane might want to leave Manchester City, they've got to agree a deal with Man City for him to go and join Bayern Munich. And he's still got 2 years left on his deal, which means Leroy Sane isn't going to come cheap. And Bayern Munich, or at least the people representing Bayern Munich, seem to think that Leroy Sane is going to come on the cheap. They seem to think that if Leroy Sane says he wants to leave Man City, all of a sudden that 90 to 100 million pound valuation that we've got of Leroy Sane is going to come down to what Bayern want to pay, which I imagine is probably going to be around 60, maybe 70 million pound at a push for a player on 2 years left on his deal, a player of good quality like Leroy Sane, player that's been very impressive for Manchester City over the last couple of seasons too. Yes, people have been questioning Leroy Sane and his work ethic and things like that, but stats don't lie. He's been an absolutely sensational player, and I do want Leroy Sane to stay at Manchester City. And if that's the case, you're going to have to pay up the money, basically. I mean, I'd do what Benfica did. You remember with João Felix, when clubs wanted to pay like 90 to 100 million pounds, they said, there's our value for him, that's what we're going to pay it at. And so they just went, yeah, you know what? 126 million pounds, stuck to the guns and got 126 million pound for João Felix. So yeah, that's what I do with Leroy Sane. I'd just say 100 million pound. Don't even contact us again until it's 100 million pounds, and make a 100 million pound bid and Leroy Sane wants to leave. Then to me, I'd probably sell 100 million pound because don't want to play it here. Obviously meets his valuation and that. It's a strange story. Anyway, Sky in Germany added this morning this, so this is fresh news, saying that Manchester City have offered Leroy Sane a new deal. I've got a little bit of information with regard to this deal. Apparently the deal's worth £200,000 per week in wages for Leroy Sane, and I think, this is just me speculating here, I think Leroy Sane is going to try and milk this situation, or at least his agent and representatives will, where they're going to say there's interest from PSG, there's serious interest coming in from Bayern Munich, even a bid, they've not put a bid in yet, so they might put a bid in, try and force the hand. That'll play in the hands of Leroy Sane here, where they're going to be able to say 200k. No, they have to up the bid and see what Bayern are willing to pay him. I can't imagine Bayern willing to pay him more than £200,000 a week, but I can see Sane's representatives here rubbing their hands at this, knowing that there's interest there to be able to get more money out of Manchester City. So how high will City go here? Will they appease Leroy Sane? Will they break the wage structure for Leroy Sane? I wouldn't imagine they would. It's a difficult situation, this. Are we going to accept lower money for him so that he leaves? Where do we go from here? I mean, the situation is that you could just stick to the guns and say, not signing a new deal, fine, don't sign a new deal, but you're also not being sold. So yeah, lots of different directions this transfer could go in, and I imagine there's going to be plenty more stories and updates on this from now until the transfer window closes just before the start of the Premier League season. So I will keep you up to date with everything happening with that. You have my word with daily Manchester City transfer updates. So there we go, that has been the video. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy this video, like I said before, leave a thumbs up so I know that you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you're enjoying the content. Make sure you press the red button and subscribe, and press the bell and put your push notifications on. Any help towards number gains on here on YouTube would be much appreciated. So thank you everyone for the continued support, and thank you everyone for watching. It is much appreciated. If you want to go check out my social media links, Twitter and Instagram, links in description, or if they'll pop them up on screen, make sure you just go and put them into Twitter and Instagram Instagram and follow me on there, then that would be much appreciated. Keep you up to date with all the latest Manchester City news and transfer news and retweeting sources, things like that on Twitter, and keep you up to date with everything happening with JSGC on Instagram. Go and check them out if you so wish. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you all again for the next video, which will be tomorrow for the next transfer update. So I'll see you then. So it's been JSGC. Hope all have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace. Ciao for now.